Hello, welcome back. Art of Cycling. I'm Greg Leach, and this is the Tour de France Femmes. And we're roughly halfway through now, guys. So we're at the, actually about halfway through the stage too, which would make us halfway through the race. 9 stages, 5th stage, halfway through. There's the math for you. So we're at the intermediate sprint, which is where points are awarded in the sprint competition. So naturally, well, there is a breakaway of one person up the road just a little bit. So this is Wiebes, Lorena Wiebes. Obviously having a little trouble pronouncing her name. Oh shoot, sorry guys. Where did her team go? So I'm sorry, I'm trying to find her number to put in the spot. There we go. There she is. SD Works. That's right. They're the team leaders. Or the leader. Yeah. She is the team leader of the leading team. There we go. And there's Pippin right on cue. He has not barked until I started recording. Probably is about mail time now. So the leading team, which is the team with the lowest cumulative time. So you take the top 3 riders and they're on the team, and you add their times together, and whoever has the lowest cumulative score there is the leading team, which is a competition, that's awarded at the end of the race, but also they wear the yellow bib numbers. It looks like they've actually put them in yellow helmets today for the first time, which was, the men's race, that was the case. They were all, and it was Lidl track almost from the very beginning of the race. Can't quite make out. It's a 7. And that is UAE, so that's Squeeband. Process of elimination there. Now that's curious. Oh, never mind. So what I was doing there is I thought, because she raced in the rainbow jersey yesterday, that Lorena Russell was like, wait a minute. She was in the rainbow yesterday, but she took over the yellow jersey, so she shouldn't be in the rainbow jersey. She should be in the yellow jersey. And then I remembered I was painting the time trial. And so, yes, she is in the yellow jersey, but she is not the world champion on the road. She's the world champion time trialist. So the sort of unexpected winner, Magdalene Villeries, Canadian. It was rather exciting. Nobody really expected her to pull it off, but she went on a long break. In Rwanda, I believe, is where the championships were. First time they've been in Africa. and she won the jersey. If I'm not mistaken, she's the first Canadian to do that. Look, guys, I remembered to sign it, title it. So I call it unchallenged because the nobody really, not that if they would have had any success, but nobody challenged Lorena for the remaining sprint points on offer. She's quite the sprinter. Remember, she did win the first two stages of this year's race, so she wore the yellow jersey initially, and it's why she is currently in the green jersey with a pretty substantial lead. I do not remember the point spread right now, but it's probably, not only is she unchallenged in this sprint, now they are, like I said, one person is up the road, so she is racing for, best of the rest, but still 20 points instead of the 25, which is no small amount, to be sure. That's right, those are blue on the bottom. Sorry, there's not a lot to say that I haven't said already, right? Between the 21 videos from the men's race and now 5 from the women's, covered a lot of ground so far, right? But we'll press on, shan't we? Sorry, I probably should. I don't think I've ever done that on a video before. So we're just working through getting the various, sort of working my way through the palette, starting with the warm colors as per usual. Although I have mixed in sort of these blue tones. And actually I'm realizing when I did that orange, I should have done some orange right about there, there. Okay, now speaking of blue tones, I know I've mentioned it before, but the women's team kits are always a little better. Certainly more creative and aesthetically pleasing than the men's kits as a general rule. A few teams like Movistar and Movistar, Jayco, Lidl-Trek all do very similar, well, identical kits between the men's and the women's teams. But then, on the other side of the coin, there are different sponsors. So like UAE, their secondary sponsor is different. So that brings in different colors. So this is UAE here. Their kit is very unimaginative. Excuse me. In the men's peloton. Sorry guys, but it's true. Try not to be too terribly negative. There's enough negativity, particularly online, so even when titling the artwork, I try very hard not to have negative connotations. I don't restrict that behavior to just online. I also try to be very positive and supportive in all I do. It's not people willing to make your life hard. Why add to that? So of course you can see that I'm breaking my rules here and bouncing back and forth a little bit. So I like to say rules are made to be broken. Whoops. Well, we'll go ahead and do that then. I didn't clean my brush out when I went to get a dark blue-black. And of course I had just done that grass tone, right? So what happened was I ended up with this gray, which actually is great for the road surface, but not the color I was looking for at the time. So you notice I had to get wet paint into where I had left that paint, because otherwise I would have had a strong line. And now, because I may have some variation in color and just I am following the direction of the road surface with my brush strokes, so that again, if I get a little residual color, it helps inform the painting. And notice that I didn't line this thing up in the center. I mean, there could be boom, 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 boom. But by forcing it to the side, it engages the composition a little better, makes the painting more dynamic, I think. What do you think? So there are, yesterday during the time trial, they were talking about all of the micro decisions you have to make while racing, like all the little adjustments, if you're, road surfaces, gusts of wind, everything. I mean, there's so much that can challenge you. Well, there are so many micro decisions and major decisions while painting. I mean, it's quite a cerebral, not particularly physical, but cerebral activity, I think, painting. And after, I'm tired by the time this is over. And particularly if you throw in, how many I paint, and then also on my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com, I write about all of the artwork. And, you know, obviously that's a bit mentally demanding as well. So, yeah. May not be as, at least this painting is not as physically demanding as my studio work. But it's certainly intellectually so. So as I finish this up again, you know, you can see all of the work at that blog I just mentioned, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. There you'll find links to my website where you can purchase any of this work. You guys are not doing as well as they did with the men's race. You know, let's get a little parody going here. But, and of course, thank you all for watching. I hope you'll subscribe, leave a thumbs up, you know, help other people find the cycling art, help other people support women's cycling. Even just coming and watching this makes it. I'm just cleaning up a little errant brush stroke there. Okay, so again, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back with tomorrow's stage. Thank you.